I feel like I feel like I'm starting to look younger every day. Like this message wants to come out. Like the harvest moon youthing ceremony is actually starting to work. I knew about the process of youthing amidst my Kundalini activation in 2008. I knew about it because I would look at myself in the mirror and I would see wrinkles and then I'd see them magically disappear as if I was a shapeshifter physically, like I would physically see it. And I would see my shape of my face change depending on which dimension I was in. So the youthing ceremony, though important, wasn't everything. But I sure like it. It's my favorite magic of the year. And I like to do it every year. Did I take off my shoes this time? Yes. So I definitely walked around in the garden with no shoes in the middle of London, in the middle of fall, in the dark. And I didn't prep the space like I normally do, which normally I'll go through the whole circle, a giant 50-foot diameter circle or bigger, and pick up all the trash and pick up all the sticks, and it's just so that I don't hurt myself or other people hurt themselves. And this year I didn't have that option. So I went with my socks on instead. The dragons show up every year, of course. Every year. Part of me wanted to title this video Woo Woo Llama Make Me. But instead, it's how you know your dragon loves you. I woke up in the middle of the night last night. There were a few things that came through. Some really important teachings. When you find yourself waking up in the middle of the night and your spirit guides or your loves are telling you something, they're waking you up so you remember it and integrate it. Like a punch to your psyche. It's like, it's a wake up. So I woke up to the sound of beautiful music that I've never heard before. Remembering that when the time is right, I will enter the musical domain and start writing music. Downloaded, channeled, composing it. Because that is my gift. Not the music, that is a gift, but my gift is my infinite connection to the universe, to God. So I woke up after having watched Pitch Perfect a couple days ago and thinking, I can't do that. Ah! To the sound of beautiful music. And the lyrics were calm the fuck down. Because it was a message to me that I didn't need to grasp for another talent yet, that all things come in divine time, and that I have infinity ahead of me. That maybe I need to master what I am doing right now, learn how to spin this plate before I move on to the next one. And when the time is right, it will come through. This is important. No, this is everything. How you know your dragon loves you. It makes everything possible and digestible for you. When you're exhausted, your dragon will sit on you and tell you to go back to bed instead of wake up with anxiety thinking of all the things you have to do for the day. One thing I know about dragons is they know how to conserve energy, so that instead of throwing 50 punches, they only need to throw one. This is a yin teaching of the divine feminine, so that instead of me creating 50,000 videos, 5 a day, it was more like, how do I get the point across in the least amount of blows? The most powerful messages, the most poignant, the most consistent. And then I can do some extra videos if I want to. If I want. And I want to do that. And that makes me not feel anxious. So the course curriculum is filled out in a digestible time. It's doable. It's coming from my cup's overflow instead of me reaching and grasping for things, feeling like I don't have the material to put forward. So most of the time, when I'm about to do a video, I know the title, I know the premise, but I don't really know the material that I'm going to put into it. The meat, the content. I have the understanding of it, but the words, the frame of the story, the 3 key points I want to bring across aren't there yet. And usually I don't even know it fully until I'm in the middle of the video. That is a very clear way to conserve energy. And it takes practice and faith. I began to learn this from Star, because she was a master improv artist who knew how to conserve energy. She was wonderful at it. She would sit in front of a computer screen and just produce. It was simple. When I would sit next to her as she was doing it, I was like, where does all of this come from? And why is there no script? And then I realized, I go, oh, masters know the material in their heart. And it comes through. Unrehearsed. It comes through, like how John Denver wrote Healing Time on Mother Earth live. I don't know how true that is. I would love to think he actually did the full thing live. But that's master. That's mastery. How you know your dragon loves you. My dragon sits on me and shits on me all day long. It's a form of love and protection. It's a term of endearment. And then when I go to bed and my feet are cold, my dragon warms my feet up. And when I need to get into my heart, my dragon warms my heart. There are only a few times where I have actually felt like attack from the dragon realm. And it's usually Lucy trying to do something like, go that way, or that's insulting or irreverent. It's either to get my attention and teach me a lesson, or it's to teach me a lesson. Usually it shows up like a giant crick in my back that is completely unexplainable because I am 100% healthy and do not get cricks in my back. It feels like lockjaw, Charlie horse, right here. And it's scary and it makes me feel like I'm gonna explode. And you know how I know it's Lucy? Lucy tells me that it's Lucy during it. Like, this is from me. So it's not just me like floundering in the flow of psychic energy. I woke up last night to a dream where hundreds of green dragons were cheering me on. Let me give you why this is relevant and important. Because one, their logic is kind of two-faced and shadowy. Because dragons are tricky. They'll give you a backhanded compliment by giving you a compliment. And let me explain. This is how you know I'm actually working with the dragons, is this teaching. I did my dragon initiation, my second one, the green ring. And now little green dragons are showing up everywhere. Little green stuffed animals, green dragon keychain, Edgar, whatever. Like all like green dragons fucking everywhere. And Charlie's going, and the green dragons are going, do you see? We're trying to tell you something. that you've actually done the initiation and we're pushing you forward. And I wake up to the beautiful music, like 30 minutes down the line in the next dream. And I remember the green dragon teaching that they really wanted to make sure that I knew, that they knew, that they were doing stuff with me. And as I'm awake, I'm in Kali mode. Kali mode. And all I'm doing is looking outside, out my window, looking at the rain on the street, looking at the light reflecting off of the wet asphalt, looking at the white hotels, looking at the grids I'm having to set for this today in my brain. And I hear a voice in the background, like, yay, the green dragons are pushing you forward. And my Kali self was going like, they're fucking with me. That was an insult. Because if they really were pushing me forward, they'd be here instead of fucking stuffed animals. That's my Kali self. They're insulting me with stuff, inanimate objects made from stolen material from a planet we are raping for supporting a capitalist agenda and consumerism. It's a giant insult. This is how you know I'm actually working with the dragons instead of my ego. Is that my Kali self can identify the fuck yous from them. Instead of taking it at face value. How you know your dragon loves you? It leads you on until you can actually do something. Get over yourself. That's the teaching that came through. That was the teaching. There are two things that dragons despise. Charlie said it the day, literally minutes after my first initiation. And that is pride and vanity. I think of dragons as being agents of balance on the planet, in the universe. I don't believe in a multiverse. I think everybody who believes in a multiverse doesn't understand unity consciousness. It's compartmentalization. It's selective compartmentalization. It's all one anyway. The dragons are agents of balance in the universe. To me, they rule the path of temperance, which is the path between the heart and Yesod, the virtues of the heart and Yesod, truth, authenticity. Yesod, independence, forward movement, progress, creativity. Temperance, ruling between them. And then the vices being pride and vanity. I was actually on the path of temperance when I did my dragon initiation, and another dragon lady witch that I know. So, very powerful dragon lady witch. She knows who she is. How you know your dragon loves you. They tell you the things that you don't want to hear. And it feels good. They speak to your soul instead of your brain. They speak to your potential instead of your morality tale of lost causes. They speak to what is truly there, deep down inside. Even if you're a nobody and can't believe it, or won't believe it, and they'll make you get over yourself real fast. Because to them, you are nothing unless you become something. Kali Ren, out.